Good morning, LBHT crew. Good morning, Rogue Nation. See, man, like just out of man, like we can't even be a couple minutes late. We were just chopping it up for a second. He said, "Did they move the show to 6:15 p.m.?" Oh man, that ain't right. And I said, did I schedule it at 6:15? I thought I put it at a.m. instead of p.m. I don't know.
He's just being smart.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. We're a couple minutes late. My bad. That's what happens. That's what happens when you're too punctual. Okay. That's what happens. That's my bad. I spoiled y'all. Dr. Kush, good morning. Good morning. Grand rising to Carmelo Moody. Salute to you. We got Imani in the house. Good morning. Good morning. Alfonso Richardson. Good morning. Oh, he said I did put PM. Okay, that's my fault. Yeah, that's my fault. That's my fault. Yeah. I could have clicked AM, but this thing gets a little janky sometimes. But we're here. Bazel, good morning. Says we not playing. We not paying Zay. Oh, you talking about Zay Flowers?
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, if they're not paying Zay, then they definitely better be looking at Jose's plan. All right, trading for a marquee wide receiver because their drafted skills aren't great, and even if you get a really good wide receiver in the draft, I mean, he's a rookie, so they better be looking at. I be saying I got a bone to pick with you.
What you done?
No, it's fine. We'll talk about that in a second. We're discussing something in the comments, but we'll talk about it. Big boy, good morning. Good morning. Noble forever. Good morning. Megan's in the house. What's going on, Megan? Says evening, gents. 1 week ago, let's go Seahawks. Yes. Still celebrating. Congratulations. Deanna is in the house. Good morning. Jose, because he late this morning. Who, me? Yeah, we were. I was late. We were sitting here talking. Who else is here? Tim Rollins. Good morning. Good morning to the Ravens fans everywhere. We need to trade Bum Andrews and keep Likely. All right. Yes. The Moore World. Good morning.
Yes.
Did y'all just start? Yep, we just started. Tracy is here. Good morning, Tracy. Good to see you. Tanja, good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Didn't kill you to say that, did it, Jose? What? Congratulations to Seahawks? No, we're rooting for the Seahawks. Like if our team doesn't make it, like there's other teams we like. I like the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
If the Steelers won, that would have killed me. Yeah, right. No, I'm cool with the Seahawks winning. I know some fans are like, it hurt for me to see them win because Mike Macdonald's a coach. I like Mike Macdonald. And the people that say that, they don't hate Mike Macdonald. They hate the fact that we didn't keep him over John Harbaugh.
Right.
But that's fine. Like I said, I like the Jesse Minter hire, and I expect us to get there. Okay. Kobe with a super chat. Good morning. Says, what do you guys think about trading for AJ Brown and signing Hollywood to be a wide receiver? Wide receiver, and putting Zay in the slot, then funding money for Njoku. Hey, that's something. That's something. Would you guys rather have Njoku or Isaiah Likely? That's the question.
It's a good question.
Now, me and B actually talked about this for the Panthers, right? And Njoku's a better tight end. Or he's been a better tight end up until this point. Now he's older. The reason why he's not a Brown anymore is he's lost his job to that what's his name? Fanning, right? So is he better than Isaiah Likely now? I don't know, because Isaiah Likely doesn't have the stats to show that he's better.
Right.
So that's one of those things. I don't know.
It's kind of a conundrum because you just look at what Njoku has done over his career. He's never really had that quarterback. It's been a carousel over in Cleveland. So even with the numbers that he put up, because when Joe Flacco got there, he started going off. But if he's had a Lamar type his whole career, how much better would his career be? And then you got to look at Likely being that he's been a backup. But when he did come in when Mark Andrews was hurt, he put up numbers. So, I mean, listen, I'll take anything over Mark Andrews. A.J. Brown most definitely bring Hollywood back. It'll be the best wide receiver crew that Lamar Jackson's ever had. I'll take it. But Philadelphia letting go of A.J. Brown is kind of far-fetched because I think if they let him go, they incur, I think, like $43 million in dead money. And that is high. They could do it because they've done it with the quarterback. What's his face? Carson Wentz.
Oh, Wentz. Yeah.
So they could do it, but I don't think they would.
Sion Addict, good morning. Salute to you. Coach is in the house. Good morning. Good morning. Salute to you.
What's good?
DeMarcus Hayes, good morning. This is LeBron James. Okay. All right. DeMarcus, you're the one who keep putting the random stuff in the chat. Don't start that this morning, DeMarcus. Don't start that. Yeah, I just don't think Philly is going to trade him because, like I said, we assume that just because of the antics that he has, between him and his coach and him getting mad when he doesn't get the ball. I just don't think they care about that as much when they're trying to win a Super Bowl. Now, if things start to go bad, like yes, they'll be open to trading him, not in the offseason. Like things will have to start going bad in the regular season before the trade deadline. If it's starting to look like, our season last year, where it's like, it's a long shot for us to make it. Let's start selling some assets off. Then maybe, but the start of the season, they're looking at like the problem was offensive coordinator. We got a new offensive coordinator, and if they hit the ground running, AJ Brown's not going anywhere. All right, you put up with attitudes when you're trying to win Super Bowl. I highly recommend Justin Jefferson. That seems like the Vikings are in a spot where like they just fired the GM. They might be looking at their team like we need to do a little reset here. Yeah, we got JJ McCarthy. They're not obviously you're not sure about him. How much longer do you want to keep paying Justin Jefferson the money that you're paying them and not competing for a title? Right, and you got to pay Jordan Addison. So, Njoku has an injury history, and he doesn't have the athleticism that Likely has. He definitely has the athleticism that Likely has. He's way more athletic than Isaiah Likely, I would say. I mean, he's older now. Is he as athletic? I don't know, but Isaiah Likely isn't the same athlete that Njoku is. But yes, the injuries are an issue. His age, maybe he doesn't have it like he does. But like Hendo said, Isaiah Likely has been playing with Lamar Jackson. He hasn't really broken out. He's had some nice moments, and I understand wanting to keep him. I want to keep him. But unfortunately, the Ravens made a dire mistake in signing Mark Andrews. I know you guys are saying get rid of Mark Andrews. That's not easy. Right? Not this year. So we incur a lot of dead money right there, just by trading them, cutting them, whatever. So it's hard to let him go. And signing Isaiah Likely, that's the tricky part because what does he go for? He's not the top tight end on the market. Right. Some places might have him. Some places have him like high as maybe 2 or 3. Some have them as low as like 6, right? There's some good proven tight ends out there. So, how much do you want to pay him? It's one of those things you're going to have to wait to see what he gets offered on the market. Right. We have other priorities. You got to sign Linderbaum. You got to, obviously you got to do the Lamar deal. You got to sign Linderbaum. You got to get 2 guards. You got to get a wide receiver, especially if you're talking about like Bazel said, we're not going to pay Zay. You better find a wide receiver. Some of y'all say edge. I don't think so, but D tackle, I don't know. We got 2 super chats here from Ravens fan. Says good morning to you. Appreciate that. Kobe with the super chat says no team with a top 10 paid wide receiver won a playoff game. What are you talking about? Jackson Smith and Jigba is the best wide receiver in the league right now, and they won the Super Bowl.
Well, he's on his rookie deal though.
Oh, paid. Got you. Who are the top 10 paid wide receivers? I mean, these stats. I mean, okay. So like so you don't want to pay for a wide receiver because no top 10 paid wide receiver won a playoff game this year. This is a weird year.
I mean, you got to look at it. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill. One's injured, two's on bad teams. Like, I mean, I get the sentiment, but most of those top 10 wide receivers don't have a team or have a quarterback like Lamar Jackson. So, you know, and just the dynamic of what we've been as a franchise. We've never been known to pay a wide receiver. We finally paid a wide receiver over $10 million when we paid OBJ. And now fans are looking at that like that was a big mistake, like giving 15 guaranteed to a dude that was coming off of injury. So it kind of gives people pause when you look at that top wide receiver conversation, because we'll pay top 10 for a defensive end. We'll pay top 10 for a linebacker. We'll pay top 10 for a cornerback or a safety. We just haven't been known to do that for a wide receiver. But I wouldn't be mad to get any one of those wide receivers at the peak of their career. So we'll see.
That's who are the top 10 paid edge rushers? How many playoff wins did they win?
You know, Myles Garrett, Max Crosby.
Not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Michael Parsons. Did they win their playoff game?
Nope.
No. I don't know. See, you know, like you can't really trust those numbers, right? You got to have good players.
Good system.
Yeah. Look, I be saying I said I have a bone to pick with you. That stemmed from the Isaiah Likely comment that you made. First of all, me and B weren't talking about Isaiah Likely like he was trash, right? Like we did a show on Wednesday, and we basically just said, look, man, you can't commit a lot of resources to him because unfortunately they made the decision to go with Mark Andrews. And Isaiah Likely has not proven to be that guy. I know you all think he can be that guy, but this is the problem that Ravens fans do all the time with players that they like. We project them to be something that they haven't shown to be yet. He hasn't cracked 500 yards yet in his career. He's not the guy, right? Could he be the guy? Yes, he could be the guy. He's shown you flashes, but he hasn't proven to be the guy. For whatever reason you want to say, that's just that's a reason, but it hasn't been done. And because it hasn't been done, we can't go out there and spend a lot of money on him and then say, oh, well, he'll become that. Now you'll see. Guess what? Mark Andrews is still here. Okay. He's getting paid. He'll get targets. All right. Isaiah Likely, listen, man, I'm not prioritizing signing him over trading for Justin Jefferson. Right. And look, this is all fantasy stuff, right? I don't think the Ravens will actually do that. But getting a good, at the very least, getting a good, reliable number 2 wide receiver. Right. If they go and sign like a Christian Kirk or somebody like that, that's priority over Isaiah Likely. Getting 2 guards is priority over Isaiah Likely. And that's why I got on you, I be saying, because I asked you, where do you prioritize it? And you were saying, sign Lamar, sign Linderbaum, sign Likely, then get the guards. No. Isaiah Likely's at the bottom of the list.
All right.
He's at the bottom of the list. You know,
you can't.
Agnes, what's going on? Says Isaiah Likely could be is good enough when it comes to Likely. Gonna regret letting him go, just like Owe. Hey, again, I want to keep him, but the choice has already been made. That's the thing. The choice has already been made. Right. You want to put more resources. So you want to spend what, $25 million on your tight ends, and we still don't have a tight end. Right?
Whoa, Jose. First of all, Isaiah Likely's younger, and his potential is greater. So him getting 12 mil. No, and that's part of the problem. The Ravens were willing, I believe, to offer him 12 million. So now that he's going to hit the open market, that's going to bump his price up to at least 15, maybe 18 mil a season for a team that really believes in him. We can't allocate 28, 29 million just to the 2 tight end positions for one season. We don't have enough money, even with the Lamar extension. We don't have enough money to throw away just to have 2 tight ends. And what you're saying is not that we don't like Likely, we don't think that he should be here. It's that they already signed Mark Andrews. So it's highly unlikely with prioritizing the tight end position over protecting Lamar Jackson. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, you want Lamar Jackson running for his life, but have 2 $18, $15 million, $13 million tight ends that he can't get the ball to because he's running for his life. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. Shout out to Kobe for another super chat. Appreciate you, man. It says Likely is going to New England / Giants. They have tons of money. Yeah, I can see it.
The Rams have tons of money.
Deanna, thank you for becoming a member for 4 months. Appreciate that. Says Harbaugh making them re-sign Mark Andrews screwed the team before the offseason started. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't even, we were so hyped off the Mark Andrews and Likely talk. We didn't even get to the main topic, which is Jesse Minter saved the Giants from disaster. Okay. Saved them from disaster because it was reported that John Harbaugh was seriously considering bringing in Rex Ryan as defensive coordinator. And Jesse Minter convinced him to bring in Denard Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, yes, I did say that, things could work out for Harbaugh somewhere else. Sometimes a change of scenery is good for both parties. It ain't going to work in New York. It ain't gonna work. This man he went over there, and there's another story basically saying that the GM lost all his power. He's kind of just been relegated to lead scout. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Rex Ryan, Deanna. Rex Ryan. So we know what time it is with him. He went on local radio around here, taking a victory tour about Mike McDonald, like, oh, I brought him in, and some of you guys didn't want me to bring him in, and now he's a Super Bowl champion. I was right about him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he should have had your job.
Right.
And he's like, oh, I'll be right about Zach Orr too. You'll see. So why didn't you bring him on your staff?
Mm-hmm.
But you call Rex Ryan.
Right. What about the other 11 assistant coaches that you fired?
Yeah.
What about those guys? Were you right about them? And then you bring in Matt Nagy to be offensive coordinator.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to be good, New York.
Yeah. Flagship says, Hendo, they offered Isaiah more than $12 million. The report is they offered him a little more money, but similar to Andrew's contract before even going to Mark. And Isaiah said no, as he should.
Mm-hmm.
As he should. Players should never sign a deal before they hit free agency. They should always, like, when you're a player like Isaiah Likely, you should always test free agency because you're always going to get more money.
Thanks.
Don't take team-friendly deals. That's not good for you personally. Thank you, Kobe, for another super chat. I really appreciate that. Says, after seeing Har's hand-picked staff, thank you, Loop. Yes.
Indeed.
Yes. Kick for change. Tyler Loop.
Kick for change.
He made a kick for change.
Hey, that's gonna be a t-shirt.
Hey, I'm telling you. Cousin Dave, good morning. Says Nagy is crawling for Roman to walk right into that position. Yes.
I forgot they brought him in.
Disaster. Edmund, good morning. Says, yep, but he's not a good GM anyways, people.
Yeah.
If you let him talk you into re-signing Mark Andrews to $13 million per year on the downside of his career, hitting the other side of 30, like, that's crazy. Especially if you were having talks with Bisciotti about potentially replacing John Harbaugh. Like, you knew it may be coming down, and you still said, you know what, let's re-sign him. He's a lifelong. He's going to be a Ring of Honor, so let's re-sign him anyway. That's just bad business.
Facts. Andrews already had his big contract. Why would likely take $12 million? No way. Right. Yep. Hashtag Kick for change. Yep. This is what's up, Xavier. It says this is like when Bill Belichick hired a defensive coordinator to run his offense. Yeah. It's Harbaugh is drunk off of power.
Mm-hmm.
His ego is too big. It clouds his judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He won't admit his blind spots. which is there's a few things. The loyalty, yes, I can respect him being loyal to players and coaching staff and whatnot, but when it affects your team, you have to be able to see that. And for him, it was, I'm going to do things my way. I'm not going to change anything. Oh, I'm fired. All right, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to bring back all my friends that, some of them I didn't want to let go, but got too much pressure. So now I'm going to bring them back. And, you'll see I'm going to do everything right here. You have an inferior team, right? You have an inferior quarterback. You have an inferior running back.
Right.
Defense is nice, but then like, how many of them are you going to keep? O-line is nice. How many of them are you going to keep? Are you going to bring in Falele? You fired the O-line coach that got them turned around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you brought in the O-line coach that helped destroy our offensive line. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? You talking about bringing in Rex Ryan? Kobe, thank you for another super chat. Appreciate that. Says, I'm from New York. Harb's not ready for New York media.
Facts.
He wasn't ready for Baltimore media
at all. And man, he talked about his press conference. Like, he alluded to certain things, and we've seen throughout his career, like things that we've said on screen. And he come out with his little t-shirts and his little comments during his press conferences. If you ain't ready for this little bit of stuff that we doing over here, that New York media is going to eat him alive and drive him out. He's got two, maybe 3 years to turn that thing around, or they're going to drive him out of New York. And y'all going to see the real John Harbaugh.
Oh, yeah. They don't play that at all. They don't play that at all. John had guardrails and be more. He's completely unleashed in New York. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how bad teams stay bad.
Yep.
That's how bad teams stay bad right there. You don't give a guy like that. Look, there's a reason why he got fired.
Right.
There's a reason why he got fired. And you might, like, outside looking in, John Harbaugh looks like an excellent coach. And, he's had all the success. And if you're buying into the thought that he made Lamar Jackson who he is, you haven't done your homework. Like, as a fan, you can think that, right? Because you're not paying attention to other teams like that. You're paying attention to your team.
Right.
But when you're an organization looking to bring him in and you're going to commit millions of dollars and you're going to give him some control over your team, you better do your homework.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't do their homework, clearly.
Right. They thought they think that he's going to do what they thought he did for Lamar Jackson with Jackson Dart. It didn't happen. Like, people outside of the Ravens organization that really don't know will sit there and say, well, he brought in Marty Morningwig. He brought in Greg Roman to kind of mold an offense around Lamar Jackson to make him an MVP. But if you look at it, he didn't run anything like that at Louisville. He ran a pro style set at Louisville intentionally. He went to Louisville, so he didn't run gimmick offenses. So he was ready and prepared for the NFL. So when he got here, they kind of stunted his growth, and you saw what happened in Todd Monken's system. When you gave him a pro-ready set, he went out there and had one of the 3 best seasons a quarterback has had in NFL history. So to say that John Harbaugh did this and John Harbaugh did that, cool. Yes, John Harbaugh has 180 wins in the NFL, which is a lot contributed by a lot of Hall of Fame players that he's had on his squad. But yeah, to think that he made Lamar Jackson with the wide receivers and offensive line we had, he made him?
Right. Kwame says apparently he still thinks he was right about Zach Orr, delusional.
Yeah, he talked about that. He said, I had a conversation with him, and we thought it was best he goes somewhere else to spread his wings. Nah, yeah, that's not what you were saying.
That's a lie.
Right, that's not what you were saying in Baltimore. You were saying, I'm keeping the gang intact. We're bringing everybody back and run it back again. So why now in a new situation? Why are you going to go in a different direction?
So who was it? Glenn Clark? We're going to talk about this more on Wednesday too. He asked him, okay, if you were still here, would you have brought him back? I don't know. I'm not there anymore. Man, get out of my face, man. You don't know what you were going to do?
Right.
Like, he's acting like he's a different person. I don't know what John Harbaugh would have done in Baltimore.
Right.
That's you, bro. What were you going to do? Were you going to bring him back, or were you going to let him spread his wings? Mm-hmm. You were going to bring him back. You were going to run him right back. You weren't going to make any changes. Mm-hmm. And that's a big part of the reason why you're out.
Right.
Because you didn't even attempt to go to your boss and say, all right, I'm going to change this up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You're like, we're going to run it back with the same crew, do the same thing. I'm not going to change anything.
And then this man, listen, this man, he went to Todd Monken and said, "Hey, bro, I know you're in your 60s. I know this may be your only head coaching opportunity, but don't do it. Come to New York with me." Like, you trying to talk somebody out of getting a head coaching job. It may not be the most desirable position, but it's a head coaching job where he may never get a chance ever again in life. And you're trying to talk him out of it so that you're comfortable with the people you have around you. Bruh, beta mentality.
Hey, facts. Tandra, I saw your comment earlier. She said that Mentor shouldn't have convinced him to hire Wilson. Should let him go ahead and hire Rex Ryan. But they're friends,
right?
They're friends. Like the friends are going to give each other good advice. Now, I'm surprised he listened.
Yeah. I mean, that Rex was John's first defensive coordinator that he inherited when he took over the team. But to think that dude was going to come off the couch and do something with the defense, that's crazy to me.
Yeah. We got 140 people in here. Hit that like button. If you're new in here, hit the subscribe button. We are streaming live on 2 channels, Lunch Break Hot Take, Rogue Pod. So subscribe to both. All right. We're getting out of here in a few minutes. My alarm clock's going to go off here in a couple seconds, but we'll go for about 5 more minutes. And your boy got to get to work. I got to work today. We got a super chat from Deanna. Appreciate that. Thank you. Says Harbaugh jumped at the opportunity to prove he was in opt-out loud as soon as the offseason started. To prove that he was out loud. Yes. I said opt-out. He was yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. You're doing interviews with the people that are spreading these rumors about Lamar Jackson. Like that's my whole thing. Even at the time when Preston was putting out these hit pieces, for an organization that's quick to pull media credentials, ban certain people from the facility, in terms of like being in the press box and all that stuff, really want to control the narrative. Why would you allow that? Right. And even when he was asked those questions and he's like, "Oh, look, I've never, I've never seen Lamar sleeping, in the meetings, and I don't know where all that stuff comes from." Like, where's the angry John that snipes at reporters for asking valid questions? Where's that John Harbaugh then? Why was Mike Preston allowed at the press conference? When they had talked about firing Harbaugh, and Bashai talking about he likes Preston and all that stuff. Like, that's not cool.
Right.
Players have hated Mike Preston for decades. This way predates Lamar Jackson. Right. Players have always hated Mike Preston. Who was it? Femi Abadejo talked about that. How they put up memos saying don't talk to this guy. He's been a problem for decades, and they still let him in the building.
Right. I mentioned his name.
But if we ask a valid question, if we say something like, "Hey, how come you haven't fired Harbaugh yet? Why isn't EDC doing his job? We're the bad guys, but you go and fire Harbaugh because you're sick of him.
Thanks.
EDC going to get fired if he doesn't do a good job this year." Rafael Clemencia, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. Preston gets info from John. Yeah, we all know that. He's not even good at hiding that, at masking that. 2-15 season loaded for Giants. Ooh,
that would be lovely.
Look, man. We gotta look at that a little closely. This might turn into a Ravens, Panthers, and Giants channel over here.
Thanks. Set aside a little segment for the Giants season and how it's going.
All right, we're gonna get out of here soon. But I want to end with this, and all the stuff we're gonna talk about on the Wednesday show, on the LBHT show. But I'm not sure how much you've been following NBA. A lot of teams are trying to tank, including my Brooklyn Nets. Okay, is putting out a very, very, very ugly product, uglier than normal. Okay, because teams are starting to figure out now, because there's the draft lottery. it's worth it to tank, even if you might get the 8th spot, right? So instead of 1 or 2 teams tanking, you have 10 teams tanking, right? And for the first time that I've ever seen, a couple teams got fined for the tanking, how poorly it looked last week. And Adam Silver came out yesterday and said, hey, he's open to getting rid of the draft altogether. Now, I want to get your thoughts on that. Let me read the super chat. I want to get your thoughts on it. Thank you, Kobe, again for another super chat. Says Harbs tried to gaslight that Monk was the problem. Yeah, Todd Monken. Yep. Yeah, he did. He tried hard. He tried hard to he paid some good money to get those 2 reports out on those 2 different platforms. So yeah, Harbaugh has been a problem, and good luck, New York fans. But yes, what do you think about the NBA getting rid of the draft?
I love it. Listen, ever since you guys spoke about like soccer, because the argument was going to be that only the best teams with the most amount of money are going to sign the best players, and they're going to just continuously win championships and make the sport boring. But that's not what happens in soccer. The best teams do not always win. The most talent does not always collect championships. So for me, go out there, and now, just like college, you get your recruiters and you speak to these prospects and have them join your team. No salary cap. May the best team win. And now you really have to rely on coaching and scouting, because if you can't get those top players, you got to get those second and third level players that can come together. If you got guys that have some talent and they play collectively together, you can beat the teams with a lot of talent and play as individuals. So I would love that for the NFL. All sports, I think, should do that.
Hey, that's and we'll talk about that on Wednesday. But yes, get rid of the draft. Every major sport should adapt that. I would love to see that in the NFL as well. Right? I would love to see that. Get rid of the draft. Get rid of the draft. Have national signing days like you do in college. Right? It will be just as entertaining, and you'll see which teams are really trying to compete. And it won't be an unfair advantage. People are thinking, oh well, everybody would just sign with the Chiefs. Everybody can't sign with the Chiefs.
They can't.
Pat Mahomes is there. You can only start one quarterback. Right? Pat. So top quarterback isn't going to the Chiefs. Top quarterback isn't going to the Ravens. Right? Top edge rusher isn't going to the Browns. Right? Like positions get filled. Positions get filled, and the teams that have needs can go and get players and get pay the money. What's your priority? Hey, I'll pay you a little more to come over here. Right. Entice them to come over there, because even the teams, you look at the Browns, it's like, well, who wants to play for the Browns? Somebody does. Somebody wants a starting job.
Right.
That's exactly where a top quarterback might say, hey, I can go make a difference over there.
And then you look at regionally, you got people that grew up in the area, fans of these teams, and they want to play for these teams. And this is where the Ravens miss a lot of the mark. We miss out on a lot of Maryland Terrapins that have come into the league and done a lot of stuff, because we just were like, it's our backup. We ain't worried about it. So now, like you said, we get to see which teams are truly trying to compete for a championship. We get to see the Baltimore Ravens are here on a consistent basis. We made a phone call. We inquired about, but they just didn't come. And you can see if they're truly trying to support, let's say, Lamar Jackson, if they're really trying to win a Super Bowl, or are they just trying to sell some tickets?
Yeah. Kobe, thank you again for another super chat. Says no draft would be great, but ends college sports. I don't care. Why would it end college sports? Draft like that wouldn't end college sports. You still play in college. And then you have a national signing day for the pros. That wouldn't end it.
And they still have the age restriction. So
yeah. We can't. Okay. Yes, because when I said National Signing Day, I think you probably thought, oh, well, they can go from either high school to the NFL. No, they still have to go through college or be 3 years outside of high school and then go to the NFL. The structure will still be there. The NBA, I don't care about college basketball, because college basketball destroyed themselves. They did it to themselves. When you don't when I say I don't care because these players still don't get paid from the colleges. That's supposed to be illegal in this country. You get paid for your work, and they're trying to find these offhanded ways to funnel money to them, but it's still not what it's supposed to be. So if you wanna hoard money like that and be stingy and not pay these players for all these years, then you don't deserve to exist as a company, as a corporation, right? So I don't care what the result is for amateur sport that everybody gets paid in except the players.
Yeah.
All right, John, a couple more and we're getting out of here. John Hobbs, thank you for coming through. Says, as a Seahawks fan here, the Hawks are going to be on top of the NFL for a while. They got a lot of cap space, add a defense that can crush people. Want to play for the Seahawks too. Hey, congrats to y'all. Oh, Hendo disappeared. All right, well, we're gonna wrap up anyway. But hey, congrats to y'all. Look, you guys are definitely gonna be competitive for a while. Let's see if you guys can go back to back. Let's see. Co-Air Media says hopefully the offensive mindset will change and help Lamar. There you go. He's back. Likely was a victim of Harbaugh not letting players stack back-to-back games. Yeah. Yeah. And thank you, Kobe, for another super chat. Says top players can sign a deal at 18 and play 7-on-7. In football, or you talking about football?
Maybe like a developmental league.
Yes, but that's not NFL. That's a different league. These are NFL rules. This isn't like a law. This is just the rules that the NFL put. You gotta be 3 years removed from high school to play in their league. But once you turn 18, other leagues, they have their own rules. So yeah.
And in soccer, what they recruit people like at 13.
Yeah.
They send them to camps, like they house them, like they do a lot of things to prepare them for the professional life. So it's ways around all of that. And like you said, college sports, especially college basketball, has ruined itself. I was there back in the days when Duke had a run because you had Christian Laettner for 4 years. Now you get the one and dones, and you got to start recruiting all over again and doing all these things. College basketball is a mess.
Yeah. All right, we're getting out of here. That's the show. Come back tomorrow. We could pick up this conversation again. We going the off season is here, but we still got a lot to talk about. So make sure you tune in, subscribe. Lunch Break Hot Take, Rogue Pod. All right. Also, patreon.com/LBHTShow, patreon.com/ROUG. Both of our Patreons as little as $5 a month, and you get a lot of extra content. If you like what you're seeing here, go sign up, be a member. All right, y'all. We are out of here. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you later. Peace.